walking, sniffing coke, enjoying life's good things. It's the real thing. Coca-Cola. It's the real thing. It's Coca-Cola. It's the real thing. It's Coca-Cola.
Welcome to Thames. And right now we've got an action-packed brand new series for you. The Tomorrow People.
Are you ready, Kenny?
Just a minute. Ready now, John.
Good. Carol, you ready?
Yes, John, I'm ready.
Good. He'll be coming in soon.
And that's me walking down Shepherd's Bush Market with a few stunt people around because I start running down the road in a minute.
This was made, in other words, made before we actually got into the studio. But there was a very tense atmosphere on the very first episode of the very first of this new program, The Tomorrow People. None of us, of course, knew what to expect. When we look back at it now after 70 episodes and we realise what it's become, the feeling is quite different. But there was quite a lot of tension, I think, in the studio at the time.
I like that shot. That's a nice shot.
I think we all liked the music. From the moment we first heard it, it was brilliant music.
Hello, welcome to the lab, home of the Tomorrow People, and to a jaunt in time. We will be taking a journey to explore the story of the Tomorrow People. It all started with ITV looking for a new children's television program to challenge Doctor Who in the ratings. Enter Roger Price.
I used to look at adults when I was a kid and think, I can't possibly grow up to be like that. I should end it all now. And so you have to come up with the fantasy that maybe humanity will move on and we're the next stage of evolution. Doctor Who was an old man, so we should do ours with young kids.
Earth is a bitch, sang my old star mate David Bowie. Homo sapiens have outgrown their use. You've got to make way for Homo superior. What happens when the kids of today become the kids of tomorrow?
We spent a lot of time together in the canteen. We had a few problems he wanted, you know, to confide in an adult about. And then we started talking about the Tomorrow People concept, and he was one of the few people I ever spoke to who immediately grasped what it was about and was able to make some real contributions to my thought process. So it was still very much in the what do I do with this stage, and he was a huge help with that. If I was to help with a pop song or two, I mean, great. There was only one afternoon over egg and chips and things in the canteen.
You know you're driving your marbles and marbles, you say. Let me make it plain. Gotta make way for the Homo superior.
Tomorrow People? Who are they?
We're the next development.
What development?
The next development of the human race. Homo superior. Look, I'll try and explain quickly before anyone comes in. As you know, Homo sapiens, that is, ordinary man, evolved over many thousands of years from being primitive ape-like creatures until he became man as we know him.
Like you and me?
Well, no, not like you and me. We're different. We're Homo superior, but we don't like to call ourselves that, so we call ourselves the Tomorrow People.
I got another agent who was very, very good and just seemed to have his head screwed on a lot. And so he basically said, well, there's a part going for you. It's called the Tomorrow People, and it's a part called Carol. She's a psychic girl. She's clairvoyant. She can read people's minds, and I thought, sounds very interesting.
The biggest toy in the world, television, you may as well impose some of your prejudices on it, especially if they happen to be the right prejudices. I insisted if we were going to depict the next stage of human evolution, it could not be an all-white next. There was no overt opposition, there was some from advertisers. What they thought was, we're afraid that people won't buy our product if it's advertised in the middle of the show featuring black people.
Jump me in, Tim, jump me in.
All right, Tim?
Acknowledge.
Did you hear what I said?
Anything you say, officer.
No! No! Hang on!
Hey, watch it! You nearly sent me flying.
Sorry, Carol.
I was working in my agent's office at the time, and the call came through for the role of this new series called The Tomorrow People. And there was a character breakdown, and amongst them was John, and I felt that I could play that part very well. Along with probably 10 or 12 other actors on the agency who could also play it equally well. But I was in charge of putting the photographs in the envelopes, and I suffered from amnesia, unfortunately, as I remember. That's why I was the only actor who was seen for the part.
Hey, that's not fair.
What's not fair?
You're trying to read my mind. I felt you.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do a thing like that.
Not much.
Got you.
Not yet, you haven't. Setback.
Memory of Roger was, my mum wrote this little note down that I had to go and meet this guy, and his name was Peter Price, and it was about a TV programme called Tomorrow's World. And I always remember thinking, well, Tomorrow's World, what am I going to do there, holding the thing up? Anyway, so I was doing a panto play, they call it, Peter Pan, in Manchester at the Opera House. And I was playing John Darling, you know, the guy with the top hat. There was Michael, and was one of the main kind of like kids in the show. He came and watched it, and then came backstage and said to me, I'm Roger Price, I'm making this thing called The Tomorrow People, would you want to be one of the stars? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say no. And then also, I didn't know who this bloke was, because it wasn't Peter Price, it was Roger Price, because my mum got the whole thing wrong.
Careful, it may be booby-trapped. That will be just like Sandra and the spy drop. It could disintegrate the first person to enter it.
But how can we make sure it's safe?
Only by one of us entering it to see.
Right.
Hey.
No, Stephen.
Well, someone has to.
Yeah, but who?
Well, here goes Stephen. Seems to be safe.
I didn't really like the idea at first. My agent, Eric Glass, at that time said, don't be silly, old boy. I mean, this will be a little money maker for you. So I decided to do it, and of course the director, I knew Paul Bernard, so I said, yes, I'd do it, and then I began to realize that it was a lot of fun, so that it didn't bother me. But I was a little bit insulted to begin with.
But anyway, when the Tomorrow People came along, And he will tell you that he was quite reluctant to be just a voice. But once he got into it, he loved it, and he loved all of us, and we looked on him as our uncle. And if anybody had any problems or any queries or whatever, I cannot praise Philip too much.
Don't worry. I'll never be able to do it like Kenny.
Of course you will, after a few sessions with Tim.
Who's Tim?
Our computer. Say hello to Stephen, Tim.
Hello, Stephen.
That's Tim.
It talks.
I do.
How'd you work, Tim?
Now you're asking. Basically, I'm a biological computer. I don't have tapes and discs. Instead, in these tubes are biological fluids.
You mean you're alive?
Not exactly, no. But I am capable of original thought about things I have not been programmed for.
The contract was offered to me for another 3 years, but I'd sort of got it into my head that I didn't want to be typecast as a young, screeching, desperate, you know, mad woman, as I think she might have been becoming.
I think Roger felt that Kenny's character hadn't worked as well as he'd hoped. He wasn't a professional actor, and to be fair to him, I think he found himself a little out of his depth with some of the other actors, and I think it showed in some of the episodes. So I think it was Roger's decision to replace him.
The first season of The Tomorrow People had been a rating success, but changes were necessary for season 2. Co-producers Roger Price and Ruth Boswell released director Paul Bernard, and the budget was increased to improve on-screen visual effects. With the departures of Sammy Windmill and Stephen Salmon, auditions were held for a new Tomorrow person. Experienced actress Elizabeth A. Derry was cast as the latest of the Homo Superior. A Derry would remain a Tomorrow person until the end of its television run and would become a high-profile role model for young black children.
Agent at the time called and said there's an audition, and I believe at the time they were looking for young people around the age of 14 and 15, and I was in my early 20s. I couldn't quite see who this was, but they'd been looking for a long time. So I said yes to the audition, and I went dressed young. So I had a wig, which I wore with bunches, and I wore white ankle socks and shoes. I mean, I think probably part of the reason I got it was just the cheek of turning up at the audition dressed like that. But I read, and I think I didn't look my age, so I probably looked about 17, 18. So that's partly, I think, why I was given the role of Elizabeth. Actually, it wasn't called Elizabeth at the time. I think Roger Price said, "What's your favourite name?" And I was kind of phased. I said, "Elizabeth," and that's how the role got its name.
I don't know. Hope you don't jaunt in and out of school like that. They'll catch you at it one day.
Oh, don't worry. No one will notice. Not since you found out a way we can jaunt without using all those funny lights.
Yeah, the hyperspatial zonal shift breakthrough, you mean?
Yes, well, whatever it was called.
I think, obviously, the Tomorrow People had a history, certainly in studio and so on, so there was a feeling of coming into something that had been going for a little while. But I think it was still early enough on in the series to establish a character.
We got this new teacher, well, a student really, on teaching practice. I think that once or twice I may have picked up some of her unspoken thoughts.
Now that is interesting.
Yes, and you like her too, John. She's a smasher, just about your age.
Yeah. At the time, I think people didn't know it was a wig. A lot of people didn't know it was the wig, and I think that's because of knowledge, really, of the general community and what they know about black people.
Still, you must be the John Stephen's been asking me to meet.
That's right.
I'm Elizabeth Mbondo.
Hello.
So I'm here. What's this all about?
Voices. Stephen's been telling you the truth, you know, about the telepathy and everything.
Thought we were going to have a sensible conversation.
Well, we are, and a calm and rational one too, I hope.
Look, John, whatever your name is, Stephen does a passably good ventriloquist act. If I was doing the end-of-term show, I'd have him in it. The voice he does for John is a fair imitation of yours.
It's not an imitation.
I'm pleased to see that you're real flesh and blood and not a total figment of his imagination. But I'm not pleased to see that you're feeding and supporting his crackpot fantasies about having special powers and being one of a new race of super beings. I looked up his record card, and there isn't much sign of his being a super being there, I can tell you. Not to judge by his schoolwork, anyway.
Well, nevertheless, that's what he is. That's what we all are. Stephen doesn't pretend to talk to me, he really does. And I talk to him, too.
He brings you to school in his satchel, I suppose.
We're telepaths. You're one too, miss, or will be when we've helped you.
I don't need help. You do, both of you. And as for you, you're corrupting young Jameson with your silly ideas. I can see that now. I'm going to inform the headmaster.
No, don't do that.
Nothing will stop me, I assure you.
I know that when I did see her, I thought, good, you know, I just felt she was right because she had such good eyes and such steady eyes, and a genuine face for I think what the part needed.
She's breaking out.
Yeah, I know. Shock of seeing me jaunt must have kicked it off. Still, at least we're here to help her.
Well, it's all right, Elizabeth. You're becoming one of us.
No, I'm not. Let me out of it.
She's gone jaunted.
It's just what we didn't want to happen.
Well, at least she shows she's one of us.
Yeah, perhaps was one of us. She's jaunted indiscriminately and out of control without knowing how she does it or where she's going.
We've got to find her.
Where do we start looking? On Earth? In space? She could be anywhere. We don't even know if she's alive or dead.
Obviously, the Tomorrow people had a history, certainly in studio and so on, so there was a feeling of coming into something that had been going for a little while. But I think it was still early enough on in the series to establish a character, and maybe that was part of the reason for casting a black actress, so that there couldn't be a confusion about taking on another person's role. And I think each Tomorrow people really came with their own background, so there wasn't really, for me anyway, a feeling of taking on things that Sammy did. No, not at all.
So this is it then? The Bat Cave?
This is the lab, where we operate from and, well, keep all our equipment.
Well, just the two of you?
Well, except for Tim.
Who's he, the cat?
Well, I have been taken for some things in my time, but never a cat.
I think he probably never thought about it, as we never thought about it in racial terms at all. We just loved Liz, and that was, you know, I don't think it occurred to Roger. It wouldn't have mattered what nationality or colour any artist was. I think Roger would just have, they would just be people to Roger.
As far as the stories were concerned, I think most of the stories were actually very good. By the time we got into the second series, we were more into the swing of the thing. Certain points had been made, the characters were established, the whole idea was established. You had to spend less time explaining what was going on, perhaps. Arguably better written. The Blue and the Green, I think, sticks out in most people's minds as being a particularly good story.
Yeah, I think that the Doomsday Men, which I think was in the second season, the Blue and the Green, and there was another one.
Rift in Time.
Rift in Time, that's right. They were good. They were. We all sort of grew into our characters and understood them a lot more from the first series, and understood that actually this is quite a popular programme and we should take it a bit more seriously.
I've hooked Chris's spectra shift up to a receiver. Any of us can work it.
What is this chameleon spectra shift?
It's nothing to worry about, Chris. It's just a device that can make the AE suit you're wearing look like almost anything. A suit of armour, a policeman's uniform, anything, even a toga.
I didn't really understand what was going on until I actually watched it. I think we filmed it, didn't we? And then about 2 weeks later it was aired.
I think the emotion was gratitude in your case.
But then when I suddenly got the concept of what was going on, it was actually quite cool. I used to go out walking down the streets after it was actually shown on terrestrial, and there'd be kids outside playing it in the streets. They'd want to be the characters and stuff like that. Then you go, this is quite fun.
You'd actually got the concept by episode 32?
Yes, I did, just about, I think, episode 8. I started to realise what was going on, you know.
There was many an attractive girl in her 20s used to come to me and say, I used to rush home from school to see your programme, I thought you were gorgeous. And I'd say, what are you doing tonight? And they'd say, no, that was then.
Chris, have you ever heard of the Doomsday Men?
Meaningful stuff here, you see. Hands in the pockets.
The Doomsday Men are a secret society. They want
Society?
that she's been on the biz.
To be a noble and uplifting
She does look a bit, doesn't she?
It's after lunch.
Are you off you're hitting the sauce again where you live?
The wig isn't gone quite straight now, is it?
Going into the third season, the show was now well established in 1970s pop culture. Changes were once again introduced. The iconic jaunting belt made its first appearance in the third season, with more profile given to the galactic trig. This was a space station where an alliance of telepathic races, the Galactic Federation, met and where the Tomorrow People often represented Earth. Enter the character Timus, a Galactic Federation diplomat who often assigned missions to the Tomorrow People. He was played by the voice of Tim, Philip Gilbert.
A clone, of course, and his voice was given by somebody who was on the Galactic Trig. They thought, well, we could bring him in. And then he was a clone, so you could have several versions of him. And as you know, in several of them, I was 3 characters. And it was fun. I loved it then.
I am Timos Ernok Moster, ambassador of the Galactic Federation with special responsibility for your world. I thank you for your welcome.
Oh, that voice. Same as Tim's.
Tim's?
He is referring to me, Your Excellency, and observing the fact that we have the same voice.
Well, of course we do. You were initiated by my clone brother, Timon Ernok Mantar, were you not?
Yes, Excellency.
Hey, wait a minute, I thought I built Tim. With a little help and equipment from the Federation, of course.
Yes, John. You did the final assembly, but I was initiated by Timon, who is clone brother to Timus.
Also joining the show was new Tomorrow person Tyso, played by 13-year-old Dean Lawrence. Roger Price wanted to promote diversity by introducing Tomorrow People from all walks of life, with Tyso coming from a traveller's background.
But who did I audition? Was it Ruth Boswell, Stan Woodward? I don't know if Vic Hughes was there. But I was led to believe it was only 5 weeks' work and not one of the Tomorrow People. But Roger was hidden behind the door, apparently. Like I said, I don't know what he was doing behind there, but anyway, yeah. And then, so I met him, first time I met him, face to face, so to speak, was on a bus, on a location bus in Surrey.
We're here to help you.
There's nothing the matter with him, Professor. I'm a gypsy woman, I know. Can't operate to the nil. What's a pray?
I'll just give him a shot or something to quiet him.
No!
Don't worry, Mrs. Boswell. While being a professor of psychology, I'm also a doctor of medicine.
He didn't need no doctor. If he was ill, I could mend him. We gypsies have our own ways.
Even so, this will help settle him down.
He's going to the university with you every day that's done it, Professor.
I don't see how.
Since you started filling his head with ideas about him being something special, he's been acting more like a little Giorgio bread.
Lost him.
What do you think's happened?
No, nothing serious. He started to break out and then he lapsed back into being normal. Trouble is, we weren't in any sort of real contact long enough to trace him.
And where I lived in Ealing, there was a girls' school around the corner. I couldn't go out between certain hours. You know, which a lot of people say, you must be mad. But it does. When you get your hair pulled, like a girly, no, when you get your hair pulled, and I've had buttons ripped off and all that.
When he came into it, did you think the writing might be on the wall for you because he was younger?
Always. Anyone walked in the door, even if there was a cleaner coming and go, all right, okay, what's going on here? We were all very paranoid. I think everyone wanted to stay in because there was favourites and there was little cliques of things going on. And not nasty, but it was always a bit of a fear that you're going to be booted out, you know. And when Dean came in, it was like, oh, they're getting another Tomorrow person, you know. I'd say, here we go again. We just got rid of 2, then we're getting 1, then there's 3, then there's 4.
Back in the lab.
My head.
No, don't touch it.
Ow!
I warned you.
You've got one too. What are they?
They're silencer bands. Take away our special powers. No, you can't take it off. The pain would kill you. Look, it won't hurt you so long as you don't touch it or try to use your special powers.
Who are you?
It's Jedediah.
It's good to know you remember so much, Stephen.
Why are you doing it? This is our lab. Tim, what'd you let him in for? Tim!
It's no good. He switched him off.
And I didn't like See Emily Play. What was it called?
Oh, Man for Emily.
Man for Emily. Didn't like that one. And
no
terrible
one liked
actor.
that
What was
one,
his
actually,
name?
not even the
Peter.
fans.
No, yes, he's not done much
Yeah,
since.
haven't had his career died a death after that.
The very first TV I did was a thing called The Tomorrow People. And I played a space cowboy, and they put a blonde curly wig on me, and I looked ridiculous.
And this is the beginning of your television career, Peter. Oh, no. I think every actor should undergo a truly humiliating experience like this. Your first shot on television is your crotch. To my lovely long legs. Oh, look at that wig.
Season 4 introduced a new writer, John Watkins, to support Roger Price, who up until now had written all the stories. However, it was soon apparent that the experiment hadn't worked, and Watkins was not invited to return for Season 5. Roger Price would stay on as writer for the rest of the show's run. The biggest change would be the introduction of pop star and poster boy, Mike Holloway, as a new Tomorrow person. With Mike Holloway on board, ratings soared, but it was also noted that the lab was becoming crowded. With Dean Lawrence choosing to leave the show at the end of Season 4, it was also decided that Peter Von Clark would be written out. No on-screen reasons were given for their departures, and the characters of Stephen and Tyso were not mentioned in the series again. Clark would remain in the show, of sorts, as his hand appears in the opening titles of every episode of the original programme.
In those days, they had scouts. It's not so often that happens now, but Thames TV had a scout called Roger Price, who had written the show, and he was looking for a group to appear in his new series called The Tomorrow People. And we were doing a cabaret for Lady Rattlings at the Civic Theatre Bow, which is no more, sadly. And he saw us there and literally came backstage after we'd performed, and within a week we were signed up in Thames Television doing the series. It happened that fast.
Oh, absolutely. It was his launch, and then it went into basically Mike Holloway and the Tomorrow People. You know, and it was because he was very popular with the young girls, and he was in that pop group Flintlock.
At that age, you're not aware of the marketing strategies that go behind things, but looking back, that was quite obvious because the group were successful. We had 2 hit records, we had the albums, we had our own series, and I guess Roger felt it was the natural transition to develop a character within the Tomorrow People to cash in on that popularity, so I don't doubt that was one of the main reasons.
Mike, could you open this door without setting off the alarms?
I did all the other locks, didn't I?
Yeah, but the alarm system on this one will be different.
Got the plans?
Yeah.
Right, now let me concentrate.
It was good, it was very earthy, and also I was breaking out, or my character was breaking out, so it was very serious part of the show, because obviously when a Tomorrow person breaks out, he's not having a very good time, as you know.
Come off it, Mike. Where would you be if it wasn't for us?
Right now? Probably down a disco, and that's where I'm going right now.
Mike, I don't want you to go anywhere. We feel you ought to stay in the lab for the next 2 or 3 days, at least until you've learnt telepathy. That way we can keep in touch with you always.
You mean like be a prisoner until you're sure you can keep tabs on me all the time?
No, of course not.
Look, Mike, we're worried about you. Because as Tomorrow People, and you are a Tomorrow person, whether you like it or not, as Tomorrow People we have certain duties and responsibilities. I'm not sure that you're aware of them.
Look, if I wanted to be a Boy Scout, I'd have gone round in short trousers helping old ladies across the road.
Mike, you've got it all wrong.
Oh, I'm off.
You're not going anywhere, Mike.
How are you going to stop me?
Tim, where did he go? Give me the coordinates.
I am afraid I cannot do that, John. He did not use a jaunting belt, and so I am not able to track him.
When you were left hanging on the Kirby wires by the throat,
Yes, that's true. No harness.
I still don't know who did that, but that's actually very true. I was left
Yeah,
hanging
left
from
you up
curb.
there.
I wonder who could have done that.
But then, well, I mean,
No one would
I
admit
just
to
knew,
it.
I think, at the time that my days were numbered in the Tomorrow People, because you could feel like, you know, that you're being edged out towards the end
What
of
gave
the
it that feeling?
talking
Did
in
you-
groups.
This
Yeah, and it
sounds
was like, you know, you
talking.
go off out one door and I didn't return, basically. That was the...
Sounds like paranoia.
Actually, the thing is that it was done actually quite ruthlessly by Roger, I have
Yeah,
to say.
it was the way they did it.
He didn't handle it very well. And again, if it wasn't for Phil paying him a compliment again, I don't think we would have handled it quite as well as we did at the time, because you're only young and suddenly you've got this pedestal you're on and then it's gone. I mean, it was done very ruthlessly, quite frankly.
Yes, it was quite nasty, but then, you know, it's one of those things...
In fact, you were escorted to the front door by security, weren't you? With a black bin liner.
Pretty much,
Yes.
actually.
But we had our
Your old
banters,
costume.
but, you know,
I mean,
more than kids of 13 or 14.
He picked himself up and got over it after about 25 years.
Yes, exactly.
He's fine now. He's all right.
Yeah, big-hearted is how I would describe him. I mean, he's you know, he said some incredible things about you, Mike, to be honest.
Yeah. Checks in the post.
We were not really informed that Peter was not going to be in it. Whether there was a little moral cowardice on somebody's part, but we were not told that PVC was really not going to be in it. And he came to the rehearsal for that series, the first one, and I met him outside and brought him in, and even now I don't really quite understand, you know, because it was pretty brutal, I think, really, the way in which it was done. If it was possible that he was not going to be in it, he should have been told, you know, quite a considerable time before.
Was under pressure from everybody to drop him, and it took me a whole season after that pressure started to do it, and that was only because Sue Turner finally said, he's going. Or we'll either end the series or he goes. And I said, we'll end the series, and Sue said, what about all the other people in it? Don't you care about them? She knew how to tug my strings, all right, and that's what happened. But I was very deeply affected by that.
Look at that for a computer in the background. I mean, that was typical of the day, wasn't it?
Yes. I wonder how they actually operate. Was there someone behind it turning
Twisting,
it?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Oh dear.
They wouldn't even give you that job, would they?
No, I think I was pissed off.
So you'd have gone back?
I was doing other things. No. Well, actually, no. I would never have. No, I wouldn't have done another series. What, after I'd come out, seen what went, then go? Nah.
Yes, there are many changes necessary in our system. Although we have all shared...
Why do you come along with us, Stephen? Help us out.
Yes.
There's another series coming, brewing.
Obviously don't have any hairdressers on Regara. Worthy of the name.
Or tweezers to pluck eyebrows.
The transporter beams are almost ready to take your companions back to their planet.
It is sad that we must leave you. You'll be forever in your debt.
Hey, you know what? That'll make a great title for a pop song.
Oh,
There's an end.
There it is.
Forever in your debt.
Get out. Well, that was it. That's me.
The tear in your eye now.
A tear in my eye. Sorry, fans, you got no more of moi.
We don't even explain your exit, if you'll pardon the expression.
I don't know. I don't know what happens in the next episode.
I think I'm right in saying that no Tomorrow person ever had a farewell scene, did they, really? I can't say, because I was in the hotel. I don't know.
I walked out one door and didn't return.
You just got still photographs of Carol and things like that. It's so easy to say you'd gone back to Regara, wouldn't it, with your mates?
It depends on what happens on the next one, I suppose. I don't
Well, you
know.
see, nowadays it's very clever because they always plant the seed so they can bring you back.
Yeah.
Whereas
But they didn't bring me back, did they?
Slammed the door in your face.
In his case,
I was out the door.
Well, I don't think there are any major problems with continuity. I mean, some scenes were shot 6 months apart because of all the endless disputes and strikes that we used to have at Thames Television. Sideboards went up and down a bit, but I don't think there was any real problem with continuity at all.
But no problem with continuity whatsoever.
None at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, continuity was fine.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm in my
Oh,
flying
you've got your flying jacket.
which I wore in later episodes when we went flying,
Yes,
remember?
gliding. That's it,
But that was
correct.
my own jacket, that. That lasted for a long time. Ah, Vivian from the SAS. Now, what's happened to my jacket?
That is very true.
I jaunt with a flying jacket and reappear in a
And
velvet
didn't
suit.
she have on a red skirt? Yes, the costume.
No, but it was... we're both in the wrong outfits.
I mean, for Flintlock to appear was, again, another nice edge, because if you think about it, it gave them a lovely story, because, in fact, The Hearts of Soggoth is one of the kind of 4 blocks of 4 that was the storyline that people remember, because it had that infectious kind of rhythm, and it was all this mesmeric thing, and of course kids find that fascinating, you know, all this hypnosis and whatever. And funnily enough, Hearts of Soggoth is one of the run of 4 that people often talk about. So it gave the Tomorrow People a 4 episodical event that was quite interesting.
This one's been set to a very precise beat. Mike, I want you to try and follow it exactly, understand? Yeah, and you stop when I tell you. Now, that's important. It's a very special rhythm, perhaps even a very dangerous one. Okay. No, she's going to be all right now. Come on. Just being sent by the music.
If that's being sent, it's maybe better she didn't go.
No, she's going to be all right in a minute. You'll be all right. Come on now. Get us some fresh air.
The Tomorrow People had been sold to Japan earlier in 1977. Continuing Price's policy of diversity, it was decided that a new Asian Tomorrow person would be introduced. Japan-born actress Misako Koba would become the 8th Homo Superior, playing the role of Su Tai. The lab sets had been damaged in a fire at Thames. New sets were commissioned with new colours and decor introduced, with the biggest change seeing Tim move to a mobile table within the lab.
As long as you're enjoying yourself, some of us have work to do, you know.
Yes, I know. How's it going with you?
Oh, I miss you and Earth. Seaton's a pretty gloomy planet, and that's where this mission takes me most of the time. And it looks as though I'll be working here for quite a while. Anyway, how's the new lab taking shape?
It is all finished, Elizabeth.
Oh, you like it when you see it. It's much better than the old one.
Yeah, and I've redesigned the jaunting equipment. We've got jaunting bands now instead of belts.
Why have you done that?
Oh, security. They're much easier to conceal.
Yeah, well, you can just hide them up your sleeve.
It's a good idea. I look forward to seeing your modernisations when I get back. Look, I must go now. The meeting is about to reconvene, and as I'm the chairperson, I must go. Bye.
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 And yes, we were always fondling Tim's lit up balls on the set.
I think his balls were causing some interference, actually. Why they
Well, you built them!
Well, exactly, and I redesigned them. If you recall, Mike, I'd redesigned them so that he was on the floor, being pushed around.
That's right.
Rather than dangling from above. The real reason is he was...
We don't want them dangling from above.
Slightly mixing my metaphors here when I say it was a bit of a pain in the arse. Anyway, they were dangling down, and every time the cameraman tried to get a shot of anybody, they were always in the background, getting in the shot. So they were actually a damn nuisance. But they did, visually, they did look much better hanging than they did sitting upright on this.
But I loved that set, the lab set, and maybe they did destroy it, and then when, again, not sure whether they were going to do the next series, they had to have a new format, and then they put me in that thin little box that was running all over the place.
Did you think in the newer set that came later on, did you think that worked better? Did you enjoy, or did you think the original was better?
I liked the original. It had much more atmosphere. This new one, it was strange, and you know, and then when I saw this thing running around, I didn't like that very much, really.
My favorite was, I think, naturally, I lost God because I've been introduced to be a Tomorrow People.
Prepare yourself, so tight!
I command you to let us go! I'm a goddess! Command you! Help me!
Carry on! Carry on for the sake of the dark Vishnu! Carry on so that he may be reborn!
I joined the Tomorrow People. I was very new to this country, and I haven't really watched the television, not much. And of course, I didn't have opportunity to watch the Tomorrow People at all. So when I had a part, and then I remember telephone box was there, And I was thinking, I'm just not able to do this. I was thinking, seriously, I thought, well, I'm going to ring home to say, that's it, I'm pack it in, coming home. But I'm glad I didn't, because it's such a lovely program, and you know, lovely fans, very loyal fans. I do owe you gratitude and thank you.
I think a lot of the children's program were sort of talking down a little bit to young people. And Roger Price actually just talked to young people. And his scripts, he wrote scripts that would be enjoyed by young people and their parents. And he didn't minimize their understanding or intelligence.
Peoples of the world, I have come back to lead you. Your fathers have told you many lies about me.
Now look at him. See everyone? The glorious Adolf Hitler. He's no hero. He's even a human being. He's a monster from another world. No one could give him their loyalty. Look for yourself.
That thing. The thing I nearly made him a hero. It makes me want to be sick.
We lived underground with that monster all these years.
Didn't they look as if they were made out of fairy washing up liquid things? And don't try this at home unless Mummy says you can use the scissors. Serious drug problem at Thames.
I'm not coming back to that. Not with the glove puppet love. I like special effects.
Always assuming, that is, the retro thrust.
If he shakes too much, he's going to fall to bits, isn't he? Let's face it.
But who made this thing? We must look at the credits.
I'm
who
so
made
glad
it?
I'm not in this episode. I mean, you must have been yourself. You can't be serious.
Well, this is the trouble. You just have to suspend belief, don't you, really? I mean, after years of working with Peter, I found it a lot easier.
I suppose, yes, I did have that.
But,
I
you know,
broke you all in.
At least we got the right cue lines from this machine.
Going into seasons 7 and 8, producer Vic Hughes realised that the Tomorrow People were now all in their 20s and introduced 13-year-old actor Nigel Rhodes as Andrew. Nigel was the 9th and to be the last Tomorrow person to join the lab.
Yeah, I love the show anyway, so same sort of thing as Mike, really. I'd watched it as a kid and just basically got a chance to go for the audition. It was as simple as that. My agent rang up and said, they want you to audition for the Tomorrow People. I was like, yeah, so I didn't think I'd get it. But I did, showed Vic Hughes my knees, because I had to wear a kilt.
It looks revolting to me.
Well, it's a lot better than that stupid skirt you wear all the time. Leave him alone, Mike.
So I think that pulled apart at some point.
Great knees.
Yeah, not bad, a bit cold.
Very good knees.
But yeah, I auditioned for Roger and Vic, and yeah, I got on really well with both of them, and got home and they'd rung already and said I had the part. So I was like, yes, excellent.
Nigel Rhodes wore a skirt, didn't he? That's when I stopped watching, I think.
Yes, I think towards the end as well, I think Thames Television itself didn't really nurture the programme as perhaps it did at the very beginning.
So you haven't got a clue yet.
You can see why I bought the dressing gown. I look very elegant.
It is very nice.
Very Nell Card, isn't it?
I can't believe you brought it in.
Yeah, it does smell a bit, actually. Can you take it out again?
The amazing thing is, it's entirely synthetic. There's no wool in it at all, and yet it's got holes in it, so the moths obviously haven't liked it.
Well, it's you can put it on eBay. It'll be. It's funny the way he moves about now, Tim, isn't it?
But having watched them, my fondest memories were the first one when I'm coming out and I'm up on the castle making all the mad Scotsmen appear downstairs, and yeah, that was a real good one because it was so. The moment I saw it, I thought, oh, God, it was so cold that day. It was unbelievable. I've got this kilt on.
Yeah, and the wind was blowing on that.
Freezing, but. Yeah, it was good fun.
Anyway, welcome back to the...
This is Peter von Clark, opposite me, doing the commentaries for the Tomorrow People. And here with us is Peter von Clark, the camera crew, Nick Young, Nigel Rhodes, and myself, Mr. Holloway. What's this called, Peter?
I haven't a clue.
This is exactly what happened in the original series. Mike just took over everything that Peter
did.
I let him. It's history repeating itself.
Yes, it is, isn't it? It's eerie, but good.
This is called the Living Skins.
This is the Living Skins, yes.
And there's 4 of them?
No, just 2.
Four skins.
Four skins. You're going to find out.
But do you remember that, Mike? It was quite high, wasn't it, that set? It was big.
What studio? It was in the big studio,
Yeah,
wasn't
it was,
it? In Studio 2?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes. Did it? Nice. Oh, look, it looks like a frozen tangerine.
Vanquished.
I'm sorry.
Because I said to Roger after the first one, Roger, really don't want to wear this kilt anymore. I said, because I'm getting some fright stick at school about it, honestly. I said, can't you put me in trousers or something, like you know, jeans, anything? Yeah, and they did. They put me in they wouldn't put me in bell-bottom tartan trousers. I thought, I'll have the kilt instead, I think.
Oh,
yes.
There we go.
What can you say to that? How can you not be slanderous?
Demented Daleks on Viagra is how I describe them.
As I said, I can only say I was not under the impression it was cancelled. I was told we were going to do one more series and it would be a short series. It was a decision, I think, taken fairly late in the day. I think there were only those number of stories available, or those number of episodes available.
There was 4 new scripts, which I still have, that were sent to us, that were due to be made, but there was a big strike. And for 3 months, everything blacked out. And when it came back, it was deemed to be too expensive to make. So there were 4 scripts sent and 4 episodes due to be made in a new season, but never happened. And where are those scripts now? In my loft. Well, there you go.
There you go.
On eBay next week, 3.5 grand.
It was a good series. I enjoyed the work that I did on the programme, and I enjoyed the cast, because sometimes that can be a nightmare, I suppose, if you're actually not working well with your colleagues. And I think we worked together quite well.
It's nostalgia. I think that's what it is. You know, a major part of people's lives.
But we were not told, you see. We had the news series, we had the scripts, we were told that it was going to go on, and then we would find that it wasn't going to go on, and then we would find it was on again, back and forth. It was a very, very difficult time, and then I just suddenly got a phone call a few weeks before we were due to start to say it wasn't going to be done. And then the door slammed in our face. They didn't even say thank you, and it was as if the programme had never existed. It was extraordinary what happened.
Putting an electrical cable up my kilt and making Phil laugh as well. And so
Everybody was shaking.
But Phil actually says the last line in the series.
Something you don't think he does?
Yeah, he says the very last line at the very last episode.
Oh, that's very poignant.
Yeah, which is very nice. Yeah.
So we all love you, Phil. At the end of the day,
we do.
Just sadly missed, and you're a great man.
You mean we're forgiven? Forgiven? My dear John, it is you who should forgive us.
We're reinstated then. Members of the Federation again.
No, not members of the old Federation, but members of a vigorous new Federation, which from now on will look to young people like yourselves for guidance.
It never really went away, you know. There's always been interest there. I think surprise is the main reaction to quite how popular it still is.
The Tomorrow People ran for 30th of April 1973 for 8 seasons and 68 episodes, with the final episode being aired on the 19th February 1979. Tie-in merchandise included a set of Piccolo published books with adventures penned by Roger Price. Also produced in 1979 was a Tomorrow People annual with uncredited artists, including various pictures, strips and stories. A DVD box set of the series was released in 2006. Throughout the Tomorrow People's run on television, the most prominent and supportive tie-in to the show was Look In magazine.
Look inside Look In every week for the exclusive picture strip story of ABBA, only in Look In. Look in also for the $6 Million Man, the incredible Bionic Woman, and the Tomorrow People. And look in for a laugh with Benny Hill. Stewpot's up-to-the-minute news desk, plus fabulous color pinups. On the ball with Brian Moore, and big prize competitions. Look inside Look In every week and have a great time.
Look In ran articles, competitions, offers and free gifts relating to the series, with covers often featuring the Tomorrow People painted by Arnaldo Pazzu. The most popular part of Look In's Tomorrow People content was their picture strip stories, running almost concurrently from July 1973 until February 1978. These were drawn mostly by artists John M. Burns and Mike Noble, with stories supplied by Roger Price and Angus Allen. Here is the first two-page strip to feature in Look In on the 28th July 1973, drawn by John M. Burns, written by Roger Price and converted into a motion comic format. Information from satellite TP1 received decipher processing complete. John to report to lab immediately. Alien spaceship on positive course for Earth Dimension Extra to Phase 8.
Gosh, that's some size. Let's see it, Tim.
Where has it come from, Tim?
Origin, Stellar System 84. Small planet, similar atmosphere and G-force to that of Earth. Planet designated 274 and unnamed.
I wonder what they want. One thing's for sure, when the news gets out, there'll be all sorts of problems.
Just imagine the reactions of the world powers. No one will be able to move for tanks and soldiers.
Some welcoming party. No, we've got to find out about their intentions before they arrive. Come on, we'll jaunt up to the spaceship. There seems to be an observation post halfway along the hull. We'll take a look.
They must know we're here. Their scanners would have located us.
Ah, they look horrible.
We probably look worse to them.
All their scanning equipment seems to be concentrating on Earth. Why don't we jaunt in and ask them what they want?
They're obviously not telepathic. We might scare them into violence.
Let's face it, the best of the best made for you on CITV.
Adam, Lisa, and Kevin, they're the Tomorrow People, and they're next. But now it's time for a fantastic brand new science fiction series, Adam, Lisa, and Kevin, the Tomorrow People.
After repeat showings of the Tomorrow People gaining healthy viewing figures throughout 1990 on Nickelodeon, it was decided to develop a new show, along with ITV and production company Tettra Films. An outline was developed with Roger Damon Price for a new incarnation of the show. Price was keen to see this new version aligned to the original series, and Philip Gilbert was approached about reprising the role of Tim. Price was encouraged, however, by US investors to not add continuity from the 1970s series and treat it as a reboot. A pilot was filmed on location in the UK and USA, but initially rejected and unaired. Another attempt was made this time as a 5-part introductory story, The Origin Story. It was a ratings hit for ITV, capturing over 5 million viewers. Leading the new cast would be Christian Schmid as Adam Newman. Schmid was best known at the time to UK audiences as Todd Landers in the long-running Australian soap opera Neighbours. Christian Tessier, who had worked for Price before, played the role of Marmaduke Megabyte. Kristen Ariza, in her first acting role, was cast as Lisa, and the team was rounded off by Adam Pearce as Kevin.
What is this? Is this a boat or something?
Not exactly. This is an alien spaceship. When the ship hit the sand, it buried itself beneath the island.
But how? How did we get here?
We teleported. That's what the ship calls it.
The ship?
I forgot to tell you. The ship talks.
This thing looks like it's been here for ages.
I think it used to be on the land. Must have moved underground with all the earthquakes and stuff, but well, whoever left it here knew that teleporters would evolve on Earth eventually.
Yeah, but what brought us here?
I guess the ship sort of acts as a beacon, a magnet.
Why are we here?
I'm not sure, but it's been waiting for us for thousands of years.
Us or people like us?
The next stage of human evolution.
The Tomorrow People.
1, 2, 3, rubbish.
Rubbish. Yeah, no, it was nothing. All they used to me was the title. They just had the title and maybe they'd jaunt it, but they didn't even call it jaunting, I don't think.
No, it was filmed beautifully, but I think they made the fatal mistake, in my opinion, where they lost the plot with the concept, which worked. They put the computer at the bottom of the sea in some derelict boat or something, and from...
No Tim.
No Tim. I mean, it lost the key
John.
elements.
No Peter and Clark?
No PVC. No Michael.
So you watched it beyond episode 1, did you?
No. Nigel. No, I think they made the mistake of going away from the original formula, which was successful. I think if they had stuck with that, they would have had a success, personally.
I think, they could have done. I don't know. I watched a couple of the episodes and it was just thinking, well, this has got nothing to do with the 70s version.
Technically, it was very nicely done. If only they'd done that with ours, it would have been considerably better. But I think they should have linked the two together somehow. Wouldn't have been difficult to phase out the old and bring in the new. I mean, what's the point in bringing it out with the same title if you're not going to attract the parents, perhaps, or the older brothers and sisters of those that watch the original?
Very true.
Yeah, definitely. They might as well have called it something else.
Say, who are you talking about?
Those guys who set the trap for Lisa. They must have caught you, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, but my dad would never do something like that.
Your dad? What's he gonna do with it?
Well, he's in charge of them.
Your dad in charge of them?
Yeah, but if they're threatening to kill people, there's no way he knows about it. How can I get back home? I mean, you are always teleporting and coming back.
Easy.
I don't care what time it is. I want my son found.
Hi, Dad.
I'll call you back.
That was the last time I spoke to Roger Damon Price, as it was then, because he came to this country because obviously he had some input into the new series, and I actually spoke to him. I was telling Nick, I actually spoke to him on the phone, on the mobile. It was the big Motorola brick in those days.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I was on the train, and he'd had a meeting with Philip Gilbert, and it was intended that Phil was going to be used
even though it was just going to cross over the voice into the ship, and that it was possible that my character was going to link in. But then it was all... I never heard from Roger again. I had a 20-minute phone call with him, and that was the intention.
And then your battery ran out.
And,
as they did in those days.
And that was my experience with them trying to link the old series to the new.
For season 2, Roger Damon Price decided to leave the show, and experienced children's program writers Grant Cathro and Lee Pressman were brought on board. Other changes included replacing Kristen Ariza and her character of Lisa with new Tomorrow person Naomi Harris as Amy. Harris would later be seen as Eve Moneypenny in the Daniel Craig Bond movies. Adam Pearce as Kevin would also be dropped after the first story of the second season. No explanation was ever given on screen to explain Lisa and Kevin's absence.
I'm Grant Cathro, and in collaboration with Lee here, wrote the bulk of the 1990s series.
I'm Lee Pressman, and with Grant we wrote the new 1990s Tomorrow People.
Roger Price wrote the pilot show for the reinvention of the series, and then after that we wrote all the rest between us.
So we wrote 4 stories, each one had 5 episodes to it, so that was up until the point the show finished.
The idea of taking the weird kid in class, the outsider, and turning that idea positive, that exists in the original series, and we loved that about it, and we ran with that in the remake. I think at the heart and soul of the Tomorrow People, that's really what it's about. I remember writing a line of dialogue where one of the characters says, "I feel like I'm looking at life through a window the whole time," and I remember feeling that when I was young, and for me that was a kind of key to it.
You're a Tomorrow person. Yeah, it's true.
I'm a Tomorrow person. Wow, that answers everything.
It does though, doesn't it? Explain everything. The strange feelings you've been having.
What strange feelings? I haven't been... Who are you guys?
You felt somehow drawn to Kevin, didn't you?
You know why? Because he's one of us, too.
This is nuts.
Yeah, but you know it's true, don't you? Amy, you've always felt different. As far back as you can remember. We all have.
Yeah, I used to think I was going out of my mind. Oh, man, this cake's gross.
Sometimes we'd hear voices.
I hear voices.
Feel things. Sense things. Know things.
Aw, it has cherries in it. I hate cherries.
I do feel different. It's like I don't belong or something. Like I'm looking at everything through a window. It scares me.
Amy, don't let it scare you. You've been given a gift. You've just got to work out what it's for and how to use it.
Yes, Dr. Culex.
Hello.
Morning. I wonder if I might speak to an A. Jeffries, please?
Do come in.
Yeah, I vaguely remembered the early Tomorrow People from the 70s. We were sort of obviously children then, obviously. Babes in arms. Yeah. And I sort of remembered it, so I kind of knew vaguely what it was going to be like, sci-fi-ish and a bit. Yeah. I thought it was quite dark, actually. Yeah. Thinking for kids, I thought it was quite scary, It was quite actually. scary for little kids. Well, that I bit mean, with the kids can take mosquitoes it. and when Yeah. Naomi was trapped in that tube with mosquitoes was horrible, actually.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. I think it was...
I think kids can sort of take it, can't they, little kids?
What you're about to experience, whilst terrible it's true, must also be really rather delicious. Guys, if you can hear me, help! Help me! Please help me! Adam!
The Tomorrow People are back, and only Nick's got them.
What a delightful and unexpected pleasure.
Watch ordinary kids with extraordinary powers in a brand new adventure, Monsoon Man. Watch them take on
The Colonel of Colonels. Nobody can stop me now. Not nobody.
Will they take the wind out of this weather-making maniac, or will his power blow them away? Don't miss the next chapter of an all-new adventure of The Tomorrow People, this Saturday at 6/5 Central, only on Nick.
You know, we had this idea in Monsoon Man, you know, I don't know where the idea came from, but they were going to be chucked in the bottom of a lift shaft, you know, and, well, you can't do, you know, what we had to do first was get them to go in the lift, gas them, so that they were unconscious before you could put them in the bottom of the lift, and then the lift's coming down to crush them. They wake up at the crucial minute, and then they can sort of teleport out of there. But you know, you don't want to give people too many special powers, because it just makes writing it impossible.
It is, and the whole time when you're writing a sequence like that, you project yourself into the audience's mind, and you're thinking, well, what's the big deal? You know, they're just going to teleport out, and so you've got to make them unconscious. Or, I mean, there's usually a way to deal with it.
You having a good time, Beef? Good boy. You like magic tricks, don't you? Well, keep watching. Using only an ordinary elevator, I'm going to show you how you can turn children into chopped liver. Sorry, folks.
Have a nice day.
I remember once on the Ramesses connection, all these names were coming in for who would play Ramesses, and none of them were really getting me or you, I think, that excited. And then one day I was in Tower Records in the sort of upstairs in the classical department, ferreting through some stuff, and I looked up and Christopher Lee was there. Just total coincidence. And he was buying something at the desk, and I went, oh, there's Christopher Lee. How nice, because you always see people in London. And then I went, Christopher Lee, wow, there's the guy. But I didn't rush up and say, would you like, because that's not quite the way to do it. But I went back to the office, rushed back to the office and said, how about Christopher Lee? He's here, you know, he's alive and in town.
And we all sat there and had a good laugh.
We all had a good laugh, because we thought, the budget's not going to stretch to Christopher Lee, because he's a big deal, a really big deal, you know, Hollywood star. And nevertheless, they made an inquiry, and he was open. He said...
Well, I remember the way it went. Alan, you know, I mean, good for him. You know, Alan said, oh, we'll phone up his agent. Well, there's no harm in asking him.
No?
And he phoned up and said something like, Christopher Lee's agent says he hasn't done television for 10 years, and if you want him, he costs £10,000 a day. What are you offering? To which Alan said £3,000 a week. But by the end of the day, they'd agreed on some figure, which I bet was more like £3,000 a week than £10,000 a day. And we suddenly had Christopher Lee. It was fantastic.
You know who I am. You know who I am.
Yes.
I thought so. It is good that we should meet at last before the end of the old order. You will not be present to witness the beginning of the new, so you see your quest has been in vain. Now tell me of the others. Who are they?
I will not answer you.
You will answer?
I will not.
Then you will die.
Killing me is not important. Others will follow in my footsteps, and you will be defeated.
Season 3 saw a new Tomorrow person breakout, Jade, played by Alexandra Millman. Jade had been seen briefly earlier in the series, but there were plans to bring her into Season 4. However, finance was pulled, and after 3 seasons and 25 episodes, the show came to an end.
Obviously, going into this series, we thought we were going to be doing more of them, you know. So, I mean, the sort of story arc was that she's introduced... I mean, she'd been in it briefly already, because she was in Culex, you know, so we'd sort of met her. We worked with her on various other projects. We knew how great she was. The brief was that by the end of this story, she was going to be one of the Tomorrow People. You know, it was as simple as that.
Well, it's been fascinating actually speaking to fans and people, hearing people's first-hand stories of kind of how it's affected them. And I think it's just the overriding thing is that people who are not absolutely the norm and mainstream people, people that might be slightly more on their own, watching the Tomorrow People kind of made them feel that everything was okay, and there were others like that.
There's nothing you can do!
No, let me go!
Hey.
Hey.
How did we get here? How did you get here?
I don't even know where here is.
We're in the spaceship.
Spaceship? Don't tease me, Megabyte. I'm not a kid.
Yeah, I know you're not. I'm being serious.
There's a first time for everything.
Listen, I don't know what exactly went on back there, but, you saved my life. Thanks a lot.
But how?
You must have teleported us out of there.
Teleported? I teleported? Me?
Start collecting your air miles here.
I teleported?
You must have been breaking out all along. You were somehow drawn to the spaceship.
I knew it. I told you, didn't I? I said I was going to be a Tomorrow person.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad you are, Jade. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, we kind of hoped that it would run as long as the original had. The plan was, in our minds, that it would really take off and become as successful as the original. I think one of the areas that we were going to be looking at was reaching back into some of the earlier, original ideas and bringing them forwards. We just tried to re-establish the new set of characters that Roger had sort of conjured up in the 90s, and we built on that. And I'm sure that if the series had gone on and on and on, that we would have done a little bit what Russell T has done on Doctor Who, which is to go back.
In 2001, Big Finish Productions, a British company that produces books and audio plays, obtained the rights to the show and launched a series of new adventures based on the original series produced by Nigel Fairs. Nicholas Young and Philip Gilbert reprised their roles as John and Tim, with Helen Goldwyn and James Daniel Wilson appearing as Elena and Paul, the new Tomorrow People.
Ever since we'd got the rights to Doctor Who, we'd been thinking about other series we might be able to do. Having done Earth Search and looked into the possibilities of certain other BBC science fiction programmes that weren't available, I went further afield and I went to Pearson's. I had a look what they had on their books, and Pearson's are now the production company that own Thames TV. The Tomorrow People were there. So I said, "Are you doing anything with the Tomorrow People?" And they checked and they said, "No." And I said, well, perhaps I could do something with them.
So you remember the Tomorrow People?
Oh, yes. I was a great fan during the 70s. It was one of the shows I grew up with, much like Doctor Who.
I'm Nigel Fairs, and I was the producer for the Big Finish audio version of the Tomorrow People, and also a writer and composer and post-production person, so I wore a lot of hats. I think there were 16 serials that I produced, something like that. It might have been more, actually. I think it might have been 24 or something. But we didn't release. We weren't allowed to release the last 6. So yeah, it's quite a number. Yeah. Yeah, it crept up over the years.
That was weird. Now I've opened my eyes, and it's still weird. Where is this?
This is our laboratory.
We're not in space, are we?
No, we're in an old underground station.
Hasn't been used in years except by us.
And you'll need a little bit more training before you can go into space.
Right. Is this really happening, or have I totally lost it?
It's real. We're real. There's a lot we need to tell you.
We're telepathic. We can move objects with our minds, and we can jaunt, like this.
Where's she gone?
Over here!
Well, how did you... If I've gone mad, I've gone really, really mad.
You can do it yourself if you try. Imagine yourself standing over here.
There's no way I can do that. Whoa! How cool was that? I've got superpowers. I can do anything.
Now, hold on a moment. You may have powers, but you've got responsibilities too.
Yeah?
To the planet Earth and all its people.
What?
The moment you became one of us, you became an agent of the Galactic Federation.
Hang on. There's a limit to how many crazy things I can believe in one day.
It's the truth, believe me.
Perhaps I can show Paul what we're talking about.
Who was that?
That was Tim.
Hello, Paul.
Are you up there?
I am everywhere around you.
Tim's a computer.
Now I really need to sit back down.
Pardon me, but I don't like the term computer. It makes me sound too much like something you do a spreadsheet on.
Well, what are you then?
Strictly speaking, I'm an artificial intelligence, created by the scientists of the Galactic Trig. I was created to serve you, just as you were born to help humanity.
So, the jaunting belt helps you navigate?
And boosts our power. I did experiment with jaunting bands for a while, but we decided to bring back the belt.
The belts are harder to lose.
Well, I'd better jaunt home soon. My mum will get worried.
I'll take you. Teach you how to use the belt properly. Tim?
I have the coordinates.
Well, I'll see you later then.
Bye, John. See you tomorrow. Unless you fancy coming clubbing with me later.
What a truly appalling idea.
He's a bundle of fun, isn't he?
I'm Helen Goldwyn, and I play Eleanor in the audio series of The Tomorrow People. My goodness, I think I've done about 26, 27. I think I must have been about 7 or 8 when it was around. Well, maybe older, but I remembered that I loved it. And it was when we started doing the audio and I heard the signature theme music again, I suddenly remembered, oh yeah, it was about, this group of young kids, and I remembered the TV series much more vividly when I heard the music. Doing The Tomorrow People, because we all come together much more frequently and it's the same group of people. With Doctor Who, you do have obviously your regular characters, but generally it's a different group of people every time. Tomorrow People, 90% of the people in the room, and it is a real family feeling. It's a repertory theatre feeling that you're coming back again to the same group of actors, and we're all friends now. And without exception, we've all got on brilliantly and had a fantastic laugh and real pleasure at recording every episode.
Hello, Dense Newbie here again. Explain, please.
When I first broke out, Tim here resembled a rather wobbly, self-propelled mobile coffee table.
This meant that whilst I had a certain degree of movement, I actually had less power and much less bibliographical and other reference capabilities. John offered to rehouse me in my first form, to return those rather useful attributes, and indeed has refined me further.
We prefer Tim like he is now.
Has the planet Earth and all the Tomorrow People stood for changed while I was away?
Yes and no, John. Even while you, Elizabeth, Carol, and the others were involved with the Federation business, I was here, monitoring, learning, and adapting. Yes, the planet has got uglier, John, but what we stood for originally, that still matters. That is still important.
Important to who, though? When all this began, members of our team weren't dying, Tim. But since we became embroiled more and more with events in and around the Trig, the dangers have got worse. And I, for one, didn't notice. How did Earth cope when we were away?
There are always Tomorrow People. Only a few years ago, I learned of the existence of 5 or 6 new ones. Even without you or I, they broke out, adapted, took on their responsibilities. One of them was Elizabeth's niece, keeping it in the family, so to speak.
Well, how's that for a welcome home? Hey, John, the prodigal son's returned.
Stephen, it's good to see you.
Tim, how are you? You've redecorated. I like it.
John?
Hello, John.
Stephen, it's been a long time. How are you?
Fine, actually. I hope you don't mind I hijacked Ellie here.
Eleanor, don't you start.
I'm only sorry it isn't under more pleasant circumstances.
Mike sends his regards.
Excellent. How is he? Still playing in that band of his, wowing the teenagers throughout the cosmos?
I think he's moved on a bit by now. We didn't talk about it much. Well, I hadn't seen him prior to all this for as long as, well, as long as I hadn't seen you.
I was first aware of it when I went for the casting. I met up with Jason and a chap called Nick, who was involved with the original few CDs. And yeah, I knew nothing about the Tomorrow People at all, so it was completely new. I'm lucky enough to say I was too young to see the original series, and I wasn't aware of the 90s series, so I didn't watch it. I think it's got a fantastic message, and I think that's why it's stood the test of time, and that's why we're still here talking about it now, 35 years later, you know, because it is such a wonderful message.
Season 2 saw a new Tomorrow person introduced, Robert, played by Stuart Piper. This Homo superior was tortured by past experiences as a child, leaving him traumatized, not understanding his abilities.
This is amazing. It's like something out of Doctor Who.
Except it's all incredibly old.
And mouldy. The wall paintings don't quite go, do they?
I did the paintings.
What? When?
When I was little.
But there are hundreds of them.
How long have you been coming here, Robert?
Ages. Shh.
My God.
Don't touch him.
Is this your friend, Robert?
He's asleep.
It looks like he must be in some kind of suspended animation. It's him. This is who I heard on the hill.
You can't hear him. Only I can hear him.
He talks to you.
He's here.
Inside your head.
He must be a telepath. And when the ship crash landed, his mind reached out to find help.
And he found Robert.
He must have done. Eventually. There may have been others. That man during the war, maybe. But Robert was the first true Tomorrow person he found. Except, of course, he hadn't broken out then.
He taught me how to make the dream machine. He wanted to stop people attacking him. He didn't want them to take him away from me. He wants to stay with me.
Surely there must be another way to protect him, Robert. What about all those people in there? And their families? Don't you think they might be worried about them?
They're all right. They have happy dreams. It doesn't do them any harm.
For Season 2 and 3 of the audio series, the adventures were partly set away from Earth due to Philip Gilbert falling ill and unable to perform his role as Tim. He would sadly pass away on January 2004, aged 72. From Season 3, audio and stage actor Trevor Littledale took over the role of Tim. Trevor's portrayal would very much lend a respectful interpretation of Tim to the memory of Gilbert.
I think it captured people's imagination. There's that whole idea of jaunting, and that alone was a lovely idea, a lovely word to think of, to jaunt, because you just jaunt somewhere. And that they would put this belt on and just sort of float through time and space.
Morning, John.
Hello, Eleanor. How are you? How was Sharon's party?
Trust me, you don't want to know.
I hope you didn't overdo it. You do remember your training Paul today?
As if you'd let me forget. How's the repair going?
Almost done. Just a few more adjustments and Tim will be back with us.
Fantastic. Still can't believe how much I've missed his voice.
Don't forget, there's every chance he may sound a little different. The damage was pretty extensive.
Well, whatever he sounds like, it'll be good to have him back. The place hasn't felt the same. Somehow I'll feel safer when he's up and running.
Don't know what you mean. Now, where's Paul? Did he leave with you last night?
No, I lost him pretty early on. But I've got a feeling he might be a little jaded this morning.
Oh, someone turn the lights down.
Morning, Paul. Feeling a little groggy, are we?
Like something has crawled into my head and died.
Sometimes I don't think you two take being a Tomorrow person seriously. You both knew you had training today. I've got no sympathy for you, Paul.
Now there's a surprise. Don't worry. I'll live. How's Tim?
He's almost there. Just have to turn this and... Tim? Can you hear me?
Of course I can, John. Good morning.
Tim! How are you feeling?
Better than Paul looks. Here.
What's this?
A banana and honey milkshake. The milk will settle your stomach. The sugar in the honey will give you a glucose boost, and the banana will continue to release sugar into your system at a sustained rate. That should sort you out so you can continue your training.
Oh, you're a lifesaver, Tim. Whatever did we do without you?
I dread to think.
Right. Come on, sick boy. Let's get started.
Slave driver.
The Tomorrow People audio series would continue through Season 4 and 5, often bringing back Homo Superior alumni such as Elizabeth, Carol, Mike, and Stephen. Series 5 ended in 2007 on a significant cliffhanger. The series was to continue into Season 6 and beyond, but Big Finish were unable to renew their license as the property was being considered for a new television series. 3 episodes of Season 6 were recorded but never released. Here is a rare look at a scene from an unreleased Season 6 episode performed by Nicholas Young and Peter Vaughan Clark at the Hyperspace Convention in 2008.
Well, well, well. So you found some flints yourself. I'm impressed.
Shaking my... Shaking Tic Tacs. This is so Big Finish. Sorry.
Your breath's not that bad.
I found some matches.
That's cheating.
Well, I was never a Boy Scout.
Sitting down.
What you cooking?
Bangers and beans.
Very nutritional, I'm sure.
Well, it was either that or soup.
Or fish.
Nope, we're right out of tuna.
I wasn't talking about tinned fish. I meant the fresh variety.
Eh?
There's an underground lake back there, filled to the brim with, well, fish.
Fish?
Difficult to tell in the torchlight, but I could have sworn I saw a trout.
Ugh. I'll stick with my bangers and beans if you don't mind.
Yes, but we'll run out of tin sooner or later, Stephen.
How do you know you're not eating the locals?
Sorry?
Well, the fish. They could be the intelligent life on this planet.
I hadn't thought of that.
Stephen doles out the food.
Thanks. You know, I haven't done this for years. Not since I was a kid, in fact. My brother and I used to camp on the Downs. What it says here? Oh, sorry. My brother and I used to set up camp on the Downs. Sorry.
Again, this is so Big Finish.
How have you been, Stephen?
Fine.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been through a lot these past few years.
Oh, you've noticed.
I'm sorry if I seemed a little distant.
No get-well cards, you mean?
They don't have many for psychos. But Tim did keep me informed about your progress.
I'm sure he has.
But I should have done more, I know that. When you were on the trig.
You mean when I was in the loony bin, don't you?
Well, Stephen, come on, it wasn't that bad.
You weren't there.
Yes, I know. That's what I mean. I should have been. And I'm sorry.
Is that what this is all about?
Sorry?
Well, this trip. I mean, you're not really expecting to find anything on the other side of that mountain, are you?
Of course I am. There has to be something there.
Of course, there has to be.
Someone's affecting our powers. The sooner we find out whoever it is, the sooner we get home.
Ah, but what if there isn't a home to go to? What if we never get our powers back? What if this is it?
We should get some sleep. We've got a steep climb tomorrow morning, and you've got some long lines to learn.
Well done. Well done.
My name is Stephen Jameson. Lately, strange things have been happening to me.
Hello, Stephen. What? You're the superior species, now prove it.
We're called Tomorrow People. You're one of us.
Your life just got very complicated and very dangerous. This might hurt just a little bit.
Stephen, how are you doing that? I don't know. Get us out. Now!
The Tomorrow People. Series premiere this fall. Go to Facebook and like The Tomorrow People.
In 2011, it was announced that American entertainment channel CW had picked up the rights to The Tomorrow People, and the showrunner would be Gregory Berlanti, responsible for shows such as Arrow and The Flash. The series would center around Stephen Jameson, played by Robbie Amell, and his fight against Ultra, an anti-telepath genetic cleansing organization headed by Jedediah Price, played by Mark Pellegrino. Stephen joins forces with other Homo superiors, John Young, played by Luke Mitchell, Cara Coburn, played by Peyton List, Russell Kwan, played by Aaron Yu, and introducing Dan Stevens as Tim. The series premiered in America on CW, October 9th, 2013, and in the UK on E4, January 8th, 2014.
Well, I loved this show as a kid. I watched the 70s version that re-air and repeats on Nickelodeon, and I always wanted to try and remake it for a number of years. In college, I met Julie Plec, and we would swap stories about the show. We both loved the show so much, so it was always kind of a little secret dream that maybe we could get it going. And we were lucky enough to get the rights and everything. Well, there are definitely, I think, roots of the DNA, you know, and as the series grows, I think we'll be able to introduce, I hope, all sorts of different traditional sci-fi kind of, you know, even broader sci-fi tropes and things like that into the mythos of the show. But we just sort of started with a few concepts, and we're kind of building outward from there. You know, it's a classic hero's journey, you know, of that young man over there, you know. Stephen's character, you know, as he's torn between his family beneath the ground and his family above the ground, and this organization that he works for that's, you know, up to no good, and can he save the day and unite all the species?
What the hell? I'm John. And I believe you and Cara have already met.
Hello, Stephen. Told you you're not crazy.
You, my friend, are a Homo superior.
We didn't pick that name either.
I'm Russell. And you're the one that Cara can't stop talking about?
Shut up, Russell.
Maybe you'll believe this. Pull up his last message, Tim. Who are you talking to? Who the hell's Tim?
I am a computer.
AI program.
He's kind of like our Hal, just not evil.
It's my dream role. I get to have superpowers. I get to do a bunch of action while still having this incredible character and character-driven story. The characters, you know, it's proper dark. It's like it's a nice amount of darkness without getting, you know, too gritty and too weird and out there. It feels like what would happen if somebody did have these superpowers that were starting to appear.
So what exactly have you been doing with yourself after school?
I'm thinking before I answer.
Does that have anything to do with it? What are you doing with an employee badge from your uncle's company?
I've been interning for him. I know you associate Jedediah with Dad leaving.
It's more complicated than that.
That's not good enough for me.
Well, I don't trust him, Stephen.
It's not like I'm going on camping trips with the guy. But if he can tell me more about what happened with Dad, I need him right now.
Why is he talking to you about your father?
We're working up to that. But in the meantime, I promise there is nothing dangerous about me spending time with him.
This character really appealed to me because I feel like a lot of women would love to be strong and have superpowers and have two guys sort of fighting over her. And
Most of the main characters are I hope likable in some way. You know, even, you know, the bad guy, Jedediah, he's got a purpose, you know, and he's got a point of view. And I think that's the beauty of it. Like, you kind of watch it and go, well, there's no one that really stands out as being the good guy. Like, everyone's got their flaws and everyone's got their pros. And so I think that dynamic will be interesting because the audience will just, like, they'll pick and choose who they want to root for.
They need to understand this isn't a game.
I get that. I think we're all going a little stir crazy here. Do you remember when we used to teleport into Yankee Stadium just to play softball? Or when you borrowed Princess Grace's diamonds from me on New Year's?
Car, you were captured by Ultra, almost got a psychic lobotomy last week.
I think a night out could do all of us a lot of good.
It's not worth the risk.
John, what's the point of surviving if we don't get to really live? Dying down here, John, all of us.
It seemed to be working out just fine before someone came along.
His specialty, my specialty, is telekinesis, which when you find out more about my past, you can see where you see the origins of his breakout and how that is the power that comes to the fore. And I also think in the construction of where we've discovered, like the construction of the character and what we've discovered about him as we've gone along, he's very much it's a tactile, physical.
They took her! We got a jet! We can't help her if we're dead!
That's what intrigues me, especially because even though it's kind of it's a sci-fi show and there's special effects and all kinds of superhuman stuff going on, when it's all said and done, it's about the human relationships between people and loyalty and belonging and things that I think that every teenager will relate to, and parents who have troubled teens that are going through periods like this where where we're doing it literally with superpowers, but there are kids that don't fit and don't belong and are trying to find their niche in the world, and this has a lot to do with that.
Welcome to our nerve center. We've got news feeds, surveillance monitors, police wires. We track incidents, altercations, suicidal teens, behavioral disorders, reports of chronic sleepwalking, which is how we found you, by the way. Anything that can indicate a new breakout. And then we have our agents, like you and Vaughn, who help us track rogue paranormals. Homo superiors? Yeah, I don't especially like that name. You and me both. Oh, it implies my race, the human race, is somehow inferior. Which is why you want to round ours up. Strip them of their powers. No, it's up to us to guard against a species who can strike anywhere, anytime.
I heard that Greg Berlanti, the producer, was making it. Turned out he was a fan of the Tomorrow People, which I thought was quite extraordinary because he's not that old. And I thought, well, I'll just drop him a line, apropos Alfred Hitchcock we were just talking about. And I to suggest to him that he just had me a little cameo role like Hitchcock himself used to do in his movies, so that, I don't know, people were in a cafe chatting and then just past the window, somebody walks past and you say, hang on a sec, was that who I thought it was? One of those.
Yeah.
Just half a day's filming, And the next thing I heard was, would I go in and audition for the voice of Tim? Which wasn't what I was thinking of at all. So I went and auditioned for that, but unfortunately the casting director didn't have any notes from the producer at all, so I didn't know whether to play it British, American, or Canadian, which is what Phil was. So I did it 3 or 4 different ways, never heard another word, and I thought, oh well, that's the end of that. Then suddenly, I think it was October or maybe the month before, 2013, got a call out of the blue saying, what are you doing at the end of the month? Can you come over to America? Actually, we filmed it in Canada. And I said, yeah, but I thought you decided you didn't want me. He said, no, we just thought that it was having you in just for a little walking past the window was a waste. So we've written a scene for you, which I thought was very nice. How can you say no to that? I loved doing it. The Americans just do everything so damn well when it comes to making movies. I've never seen a bad American actor in my life, I don't think, no matter how small the part. It was beautifully made. Technically streets ahead of the original, obviously, but then they had a much bigger budget. Warner Brothers were the financiers at the back end of it, I believe. And yeah, it was an absolute joy. I mean, clearly I couldn't play John. They didn't have CGI as good 10 years ago as they do now. So with the best will in the world, I couldn't even play 20, never mind 16. So yeah, they did create that character, which is a cross between Aldous Huxley and Crick, who was the co-discoverer of the double helix DNA thing. So that's where that character name came from. And again, I didn't know whether they wanted me to play it American or whatever, but English was quite fashionable by then, so I just played it as an English professor working in one of the American universities. So that's how we decided to play it.
Wow, 20 years ago, Princeton. I was in behavioral science, and Jedediah was teaching molecular biology. He came to me one day in the cafeteria. He swore me to secrecy and said he wanted to introduce me to somebody who would blow my mind. He wasn't lying.
My dad?
Yes. Oh, sorry, I do have a coffee substitute made from pulverized mushroom. No? You? I don't blame you. It is rather disgusting. Anyway, that was the beginning of Ultra, an organization to gather and protect this new species and someday to reveal it as a great benefit to mankind.
So what exactly went wrong?
Well, he would never admit it, but not having powers, he was always jealous of your father. It left Jedediah cool and easily influenced.
By whom?
The founder?
Amongst others. Your father didn't trust them, so we kept our work secret. Regarding his ability to stop time, I had theorized an unknown dimensional plane.
Wait, my dad could stop time? Jedediah told me that I was the only one.
Your uncle has been known to be less than truthful.
Yes, it is a show with fantastic superpowers and fantastic situations, but if it doesn't feel like it's grounded in real life, it's tough to get on board. So it just kind of makes it easier every week to have these real life situations and just, get to play with superpowers at the same time.
A world without humanity is the future.
The founder took my family. He took everything from me.
Killing the founder won't save them. Why are you doing this?
Revenge.
The Tomorrow People, season finale, this Monday at 9/8 Central on the CW.
The Tomorrow People ran for 22 episodes with the finale left open-ended for a potential return. However, after mixed reviews and below average viewing figures, the CW cancelled the series. With the Tomorrow People disappearing from our screens in 2014, the story of Homo Superior is far from over, with fandom keeping the show very much alive. Superfans like Jackie Clark have helped keep the TP community together by organizing various conventions over the years, inviting fans, actors, writers, and producers to come together to celebrate the show. Events such as Hyperspace 2008 and more recently Beyond Tomorrow highlight there is still very much an appetite for the show. Publications such as Puzzle and reference books have been produced taking an in-depth look at episodes and behind-the-scenes information. Publishing companies Chin Beard and Oak Tree Books also keep the franchise alive with compilation volumes of Look in magazine picture strips. They are also responsible for a series of original novels focusing on characters from the 1970s audio and 1990s series. The Tomorrow People have endured for over 50 years and to this day has a dedicated fan base. The jaunt in time continues, and we leave the final word with creator Roger Price whilst picking up his Lifetime Achievement Award in 2008.
Well, Working in television was not always wonderful, as anyone who's done it knows. What did make it wonderful for me, strangely enough, was the cast. I had a family at home, and that was nice to go home to. And it was like having a family at work, too. I guess that was my weak point as well, because I did keep some series going a lot longer than they should have been, just because I liked the people. I liked working with them. I didn't want to say goodbye. And that was always a lot of fun. And actually, it was a pretty good way to spend your life, really. Better than having a real job, I can tell you that. So, try it. Especially if you've got no qualifications and no talent whatsoever. You know, they say, those who can't do anything become teachers. Well, actually, those who can't even become teachers, they generally become television producers. So they've got to switch the set on to see the truth in that. And again, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jackie. And bye.
Wake up, you sleepy head. Put on some clothes, shake up your bed. Put another log on the fire for me. I made some breakfast and coffee. Look out my window, what do I see? A crack in the sky and a hand reaching down to me. All the nightmares came today, and it looks as though they're here to stay. What are we coming to? No room for me, no fun for you. I think about a world to come, where the books were found by the golden ones, written in pain, written in all by a puzzled man who questioned what we were here for. All the strangers came today, and it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, you pretty things, don't you know you're driving your drivers insane? Oh, you pretty things, don't you know you're driving your drivers insane? Let me make it plain, gotta make way for the whole superior. Look out at your children, see their faces in golden rays. Don't kid yourself, they belong to you. They're the start of the coming race. The author's a bitch, we finished our news. Homo sapiens have outgrown their use. All the strangers came today, and it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, you pretty things, don't you know you're driving your drivers insane? Oh, you pretty things, don't you know you're driving your drivers insane? Let me make it plain, gotta make way for the Homo superior.
And the end of today's programmes. We're closing down now, but ITV's back on the air at 6:15 tomorrow morning. But for tonight, from Thames, good night. Don't forget to switch off your set, will you? Once again, good night.
I will be queen, and you will be king. Though nothing will drive them away, We can be heroes just for one day. We can be us just for one day. I can remember, standing by the wall, and the guns shot above our heads. Oh, we can be there forever and ever. Then we can be heroes just for one day. We could be heroes just for one day.